You can still have your children and still feel like you're not part of the family you created. If you've ever looked at a family photo after divorce and suddenly felt like an outsider in the very family you built, this video's for you. And honestly, I think this is one of the most painful parts of divorce women are afraid to admit out loud. Because your children still love you, you still love them, and nobody necessarily did anything wrong. And yet, something about it still feels devastating. So in this video, I want to talk about the grief that keeps blindsiding women years after divorce. The moment you realize life kept moving, but your place inside it changed. My 7th child graduated recently from university. He posted a family picture, 8 of my beautiful children standing together, my ex-husband, his girlfriend, standing outside the house that I helped to build. I cannot even fully explain the feeling that hit me. It wasn't jealousy, it wasn't anger, it was something deeper. It was this sudden, painful realization that the family I built no longer felt like mine. I know how terrible that sounds because I still have my children. I still love my children deeply and they love me. But something inside of me still felt displaced. I think a lot of divorced women quietly walk around carrying this feeling, like they've lost their position in their own life. I mean, you spend decades being the center of the family, the planner, the memory keeper, the emotional glue. And then one day you realize the structure survived without you. And that is the kind of grief that no one prepares you for. Because nobody died. There's no funeral, there's no clear ending, but the family system changed. And suddenly, you don't know where you fit anymore. And I think some women secretly feel ashamed for even feeling this way. Because technically, your family still exists, but sometimes it feels like everyone moved on without you. I used to think healing meant one day this kind of pain would stop happening. God, please. But that's not how grief works, especially identity grief. Because these moments reopen things. Graduations, weddings, photos, holidays, watching everyone gathered together. And suddenly you're grieving 2 things at once. The life you lost and the future you thought you were still going to be a part of. And what makes this so emotionally confusing is that you genuinely can be happy for your children while simultaneously feeling heartbroken. That contradiction messes with people. They think, why am I still affected by this? Ugh, shouldn't I be over this by now? But some grief doesn't disappear. It just becomes quieter until something touches it again. And if I'm really honest with myself, I don't think the deepest pain is even about the house or the girlfriend or the photo that was posted. I think the deepest pain is this terrifying feeling that my old life moved on without me, that everyone adjusted, that everyone moved forward, and somehow the role I held for decades suddenly felt like it didn't matter anymore. And I think for many women, divorce creates this identity crisis that nobody sees. If I'm no longer the wife, if I'm no longer holding the family together, then who the heck am I now? And that question can haunt women for years. And honestly, I think there were moments after my divorce where I genuinely wondered if my life had become replaceable. I mean, that's hard to admit out loud. But when the life you built keeps moving without you, it can start messing with your sense of worth. You can start questioning whether any of it mattered the way you thought it did. And if I could say something to the version of me sitting in that pain, I think I would tell her this. The family changing doesn't mean you didn't matter. The role changing does not erase what you gave. And just because your old life ended doesn't mean your life stopped mattering too. I think healing is slowly learning that you still have value even after the role you built your identity around is gone. And if this resonated with you, if you've ever felt like divorce didn't just end your marriage, but changed your entire sense of belonging, watch the next video about why starting over after divorce can feel so incredibly lonely. Even if you knew it was necessary, that video matters.